A boy's hand hits the glass. The crowd quiets. A 400-pound silverback steps forward, slow, deliberate, eyes locked on the child, Bantu. His leathery palm presses flat against the boy's. Gasps ripple across the exhibit. Parents pull their kids closer, but the boy, Eli, doesn't flinch. His hand stays there, small and steady, against the massive outline on the other side. His eyes search the gorilla's face, unsure why he suddenly feels calm. Bantu doesn't move. A full minute passes, then 2. Keepers watch from the edges, puzzled. Bantu usually ignores visitors, retreating to the shaded corners of his enclosure. But now he's completely still, frozen like a statue, his gaze locked onto this one child. "Is he okay?" a woman whispers. "Why isn't he moving?" Eli's mom steps closer. "Come on, sweetheart, let's keep walking." But Eli doesn't respond. He's transfixed. So is Bantu. Then something changes. Bantu shifts slightly, raises his other hand, taps the glass. Once, twice, 3 times. A slow, rhythmic beat. Eli blinks. He tilts his head. For a moment, his lips curl upward. It feels familiar. Too familiar. From the observation tower, one of the senior keepers frowns. She leans in, watching closely. Something about the pattern, the timing. She's seen this before, and suddenly she's not watching an exhibit anymore. She's watching a memory come back to life. Bantu doesn't blink, doesn't budge. The crowd presses in, murmurs rising. Zookeepers exchange uneasy glances. Something's wrong, but not in the usual way. He's not aggressive, one says, watching through binoculars. But look at his hands. Sarah, a senior keeper with 15 years at the zoo, narrows her eyes. Bantu raises his arm again, 2 fingers, then a slow wave. He repeats it, once, twice, then taps the glass in that same odd rhythm. "That's not random," Sarah mutters. She steps away from the railing and bolts toward the staff building. Inside, fluorescent lights flicker overhead as she digs through metal drawers. File folders slam onto the desk, photos, incident reports, enrichment logs, until she freezes. There it is. A yellowing binder labeled Therapy Program, discontinued. Flipping it open, she finds old reports, transcripts from child therapy visits, even still images. One photo shows a toddler no older than 2, sitting across from Bantu. The child's tiny hand presses against the glass. The silverback mirrors it, just like today. Sarah reads the name on the file, Eli Matthews. Her heart skips. She checks the date, 6 years ago. She stares at the image, then back toward the enclosure through the office window. Outside, Eli is still there, same curly hair, same wide eyes, same quiet presence. And Bantu hasn't taken his eyes off him. Sarah whispers under her breath, "No way, it can't be." But it is. The signs, the gestures, they weren't random. They were part of the therapy program. Bantu had been trained to interact with trauma-affected children using slow, gentle signals. Over months, he built bonds with a handful of patients. Eli was one of them. Sarah's hands tremble as she grabs the binder and sprints back toward the enclosure. She knows now. Bantu isn't just reacting, he's remembering. And the boy? He doesn't remember anything. But the gorilla never forgot. Sarah rushes to the edge of the crowd, breathless, clutching the old therapy binder under her arm. She pushes past stunned onlookers and drops to one knee beside the boy. "What's your name?" she asks, voice tight. The mother glances up. "Eli," she says. "Eli Matthews." Sarah's world tilts. Her eyes flick to the glass. Bantu hasn't moved an inch. His hand remains pressed to Eli's, but now there's a flicker of something deeper in his expression. Recognition. She fumbles for her tablet, pulls up the scanned file. An old photograph fills the screen, grainy, slightly blurred, but unmistakable. A baby-faced toddler sits cross-legged in front of the same glass. On the other side, A younger Bantu mirrors his posture. Their hands meet in the exact same spot. Sarah holds out the screen. "Eli," she whispers, "this was you and Bantu, years ago." Eli leans in, stares at the image, his brows knit together. "That's me?" He squints, then looks up at Bantu. "I don't remember." But Bantu remembers. He shifts suddenly, lifting his hand from the glass. Then tap, tap, tap. Same rhythm, same beat. It's the game they used to play. Eli flinches, startled. His hand lifts, instinctively mirroring the pattern. Something stirs in him, something long buried. Not a memory, a feeling, laughter, safety, trust. The gorilla watches. A low, soft grunt escapes his chest. Not a warning, a welcome. Sarah's voice cracks. He's not just copying, he's reaching out. He knows who Eli is. Around them, the noise fades. The world seems to pause. Just a boy and a silverback, 6 years and a wall of glass between them, but somehow still connected. A keeper nearby whispers, "That's impossible." Sarah shakes her head. "Number, it's not. He never forgot him. And now, somehow, against all odds, he wants him back." "Clear the area," Sarah says firmly, motioning to the other staff. "No cameras. No noise. This isn't a show." The crowd hesitates, murmuring, but the keepers act fast, gently guiding people back. Soon only the boy, his mother, and a handful of staff remain. Sarah kneels again beside Eli. "Talk to him," she whispers, "like you used to, even if you don't remember. Just try." Eli nods slowly. He inches closer to the glass, sits cross-legged on the pavement, mirroring the position from the photo. His little hands rise, palms open, fingers waving gently side to side. Across the glass, Bantu mirrors him, perfectly. A deep, low rumble comes from the silverback's chest. Not aggressive, not warning, a hum of recognition. He rocks slightly, forward and back, just as he did during therapy sessions, his way of calming the children. Eli mimics the movement, swaying gently. "Hi, Bantu," he whispers. "It's okay. I'm here now." Bantu's eyes close just for a second. His massive shoulders relax. One hand taps the glass, soft, steady. Eli taps back. The rhythm returns like a lullaby between old friends. Behind them, the mother's hands cover her mouth. Tears stream down her cheeks as she watches her son, so calm, so focused, communicate with a 400-pound gorilla like no time has passed. Sarah doesn't speak, doesn't move. She knows what she's seeing. This isn't mimicry, this is memory, a connection, reawakening. Eli leans closer, resting his forehead gently against the glass. Bantu does the same. Their breath fogs the divider, two mirrored silhouettes frozen in a moment that no one fully understands, but everyone feels. And for the first time in years, the boy who once couldn't speak is heard. By morning, the story is everywhere. Clips from security cameras leak online, headlines explode. Gorilla recognizes boy from years ago. Unforgettable reunion caught on camera. News vans park outside the zoo gates. Reporters call non-stop demanding interviews, but Sarah refuses. This wasn't about science, she tells them. It was about love that never faded. Inside the enclosure, Bantu returns to his usual routine, but something's changed. He's calmer now, quieter. He sits by the glass more often, watching, waiting. Eli starts asking questions about the zoo, about the therapy visits, about why he was there in the first place. His mother hesitates at first, but the dam has broken. She tells him the truth about his early trauma, about the program, about how for a while Bantu was the only one who could reach him. Eli listens, wide-eyed, absorbing it all. He doesn't remember everything. But now he understands the weight behind that moment. The next week, Eli draws a picture, him and Bantu, sitting side by side, hands touching through the glass. He gives it to Sarah to hang in the staff office. "I think he missed me," Eli says quietly. Sarah smiles. "I think he never stopped." The zoo sets up a special quiet hour once a month, just for Eli. A private visit, no crowds, no noise, just him and Bantu, sitting on opposite sides of the glass, side by side. A new bond forms, not just with Bantu, but between mother and son, rebuilding something lost for years. And while the internet will eventually move on to the next viral story, those who were there never forget, because sometimes the deepest connections aren't made with words. They're made with memory and love that doesn't fade. If Bantu and Eli's story touched your heart, give this video a like. It helps more people discover the powerful connections we so often overlook. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more true stories of resilience, healing, and the unexpected bonds that remind us we're never as different as we think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.